Just because we're talking about price anchoring and money, what about we talk about a consumption opportunity that Blizzard have been so kind as to deliver upon you?
Swipe, where?
You beautiful, wonderful consumer.
Oh, I know what it is. Yes! Two-tiered consumption opportunity. Do you know what this immediately made me feel? It just made me...
Sad?
No.
Jaded?
No.
Furious?
No. Just apathetic. And the reason why is there's just so much. You know, they're now being like, okay, so this is what is a battle pass? It's a slow release formulation.
Pile of money.
It's a slow release formulation of a bundle.
Yes.
You know, so you have your ibuprofen in the liquid for fast release that burns a hole through your stomach like it's the blood from Alien. This is the slow release formulation. And it's just like, I just realized, like, okay, so this is a bundle that contains 2 bundles of many other things that also contain currency, which I can use to perhaps buy other bundles, while I also get, multiple handfuls worth of digital items. And it gets to the point where you're just like, none of this has value anymore. You're just, because, like, think about, making a video game dude that you ride.
Like dudes.
There you go. You used to get lots of that in your game, but now they're being yanked out and put in the store. And it's just like, does it not get to the stage where, you're just like, this is also tiresome? As, like... Just, you know what I mean? It's like, here's 3 banners, 2 mounts, 1 mount armor, 1 mount charm, 1 battle bet, 1 storm rider mount, 1 of this, 1 of that, a premium battle pass, another premium battle pass. And then it's like, oh, great, you log into Overwatch with your premium battle pass. You're like, woohoo, I have a premium battle pass. I'm so happy. And then you're like, oh, fuck, I want to play as Lilith and Inarius in Overwatch 2. Oh, no, that means I've got to buy another bundle that also contains the premium battle pass. And it's just like, man, do you not get so tired? Like, who is doing every battle pass? And it's like, how much do you need? How many mounts do you need to earn? How many bundles can your heart take? Like, it's crazy. It's like worse than fast fashion. You know the way fast fashion is being like, okay, let's convince all the people that every summer is a new, different summer. Like, this summer it's these colors, and next summer it'll be those colors, and you'll buy all this shit, and do you know what I once saw? Do you know what it almost reminds me of? Fucking sneaker culture.
Oh, yeah.
Just loads of bullshit. I saw some video, people like, and of course they're sneaker people, so they all speak like Zoomers, and it's very weird and disconcerting. And people are like, how many times do you wear your sneakers? And it's like, yeah, man, 5 times, then they're done. And I'm just there like, I've worn these Hokas.
You've got some flexibility in there.
Nearly daily. For like 3, or no, I bought them in Disney Springs, which was like 3-4 weeks ago. For like a month.
Yeah.
Great by the standard of the sneakers people. This is bad drip. I don't know how drip works.
Dripless.
That's it. I'm dripless.
Yeah, you don't have good or bad drip. You have drip or you don't.
I'm crusty and dripless. But you just look at this stuff and it's like, how can even you go to Prime Gaming every single month and there's like, here's some shit and here's some other shit. You're like, this is so much shit. I couldn't possibly care about any of this. You know, like people are going to buy this fantastic consumption opportunity, but it's like, how many Overwatch coins do you need? How many battle passes do you need before it's all just the goddamn same? You know, like, why are people not turning into nihilists faster?
Because
like Sylvanas, Sylvanas, like, we live in a society. I'm now going to become a doomer. What is that called? Being black pilled? I don't really know all the different pills. They all got a bit weird. But why has everyone not got something pilled in what these are like? Where it's here's shite.
Because
this is worth $50 now. You can play like 5 different or 4 or 3, whatever, different fucking amazingly crafted experiences by, various different developers. And you could like enrich your fucking life. Or no, just buy your battle pass for Diablo 4 and your battle pass for Overwatch and do your traders tenders every single month and buy the traders tenders bundle. And then because you really like Lilith from Diablo, buy the premium battle pass bundle for Overwatch. And you're like, oh no, I bought the premium battle pass bundle even though I already saved up enough Overwatch coins to buy the premium battle pass. Well, I suppose I'll buy a rotating store bundle with that. And then you play Call of Duty, and and get the fucking Lilith bundle, so now you can be Lilith in Call of Duty. And then you're like me, you're like, oh yeah, I like a bit of Ghost Adventures and the X-Files. Cool, I'll be the fucking paranormal inspector, and I'll buy the paranormal investigator fucking cosmetic pack that's in Call of Duty. You're like, Snoop Dogg. I remember the Snoop Dogg from when I was younger. Weed, lol, cool. I'll buy him in Call of Duty. Like, what's going on? Everyone's in the Matrix. Wait, no, you can't talk about the Matrix anymore because that's all that fucking Andrew Tate shit.
Yeah, people ruined that.
Why have you ruined the Matrix?
Yeah, I used to be able to say red pilled back in
red pilled used to mean something.
And it used to mean waking up from the cold programming society, in the sense that someone pointed out they live in the consume obey stuff. Yeah, I really wonder. I really like. How do I describe this?
What fucking morons care about this shit? Is this made for some fucking 150 grand a year fucking Coomer ass motherfucker living in California with fucking no life is like, I must consume in order to feel?
Yes.
Like, go outside, buy a pint. Okay, maybe not. Like, that's also a bit weird.
You know what you should do? Instead of spending your money on virtual goods, you should take up alcoholism.
Brought to you by Desperados. No, I'll tell you who the true fucking Desperados are. People who buy this shit. What's going on? What's going on? Like, who has got the fucking 12-month World of Warcraft bundle? Which means they got a big Murloc, they got a Scarab mount, and then they got all the 6-month mounts, and then they purchased all the shit in the store, all those various different mounts. And, this person, probably this hypothetical strawman person, the ideal Activision Blizzard King customer, has purchased every, premium battle pass for Overwatch and bought all the bundles. And they're getting ready to, they bought the $40 bundle for PvE, and now they're going to buy the next $40 bundle because it's got Lilith and, is it Lilith and Anarius? I think it is. Like, what loopy land have we got into?
This has been a long time coming, Michael.
What's going on?
You know full well what's going on. The consumerist machine is fucking operating at max capacity.
Who's looking here be like, it's the fucking Yazurgle! I need it!
You'd be surprised. You'd be genuinely surprised. The depths of depravity I have witnessed in consumerism in the recent times is genuinely, absolutely unbelievable. Actually, now Scoot puts it rightly. Consume is the new god. It is full on just... People need to feel fucking something. And it is extremely difficult to get any form of feeling in your brain because you've been so wired into the fucking dirt. And the only way people feel anything in a lot of cases is literally to just buy things because it feels literally good, in the same sense that people will wail and gotcha.
But that's the thing. How could it feel good anymore?
That's a very interesting question. Have you ever heard of these things called habits, Michael?
No, but do you know what happens? Right? It's like all the radicalization cycles that go on. Or, or people are like, hello, sorry, you have fucking blasted your beans with that vibrator so much, your fucking beans don't work anymore. You don't feel any shit anymore. Why did you fucking fill that thing up with diesel and go to town? What's going on? But you know what I mean? And it's like all those people who are like, yeah, I started off being normal and then I went to 4chan.
Yeah.
Which is to say, like, what is all of this? It's press the button. It's just press the button for the good feel.
Yeah.
How does this button work still?
Because it has to.
But no, but it does. How does it work?
Because it has to. That's why the button gets faster. That's why the button number gets bigger. That's why you don't do a single pull in gacha. That's why you do a 10 pull. That's why you do 100 pulls. That's why you see people going, I'm going to throw a load of shit in here all the time. It is the cycle of this doesn't work anymore. You're now desensitized. And that continually works like this. It just works. It literally does.
It just works.
It will work, and it will get more intense, and it will get faster and faster and
How
faster.
is it sustainable?
Unless people... Because...
How is this sustainable?
Because escaping the loop takes a lot more effort than it does to stay within the loop. That's what it is. Like, fuck, should I even say this? Should I say this? I know someone who has, not personally, just in passing, I know someone who has thrown a substantial amount of money basically away. And they know that it's horrible and they hate doing it. But it's the only thing that makes them feel anything in any capacity anymore. And they're fully aware of that. And we're talking, what they say, up to half of their disposable income goes in this direction. And it just goes. And they don't want to do it anymore. But they do it because they have nothing else.
I mean, they're a gambling addict.
No, actually, it's different. But it's literally, that's it. That's the only thing they do. And that, like, they just work and they put some money away from retirement, so they're not completely responsible. But it's just any disposable income past that is immediately
Right,
gone.
so they're Neo in the pod.
Yeah, basically.
You're profoundly Neo in the pod.
Yeah, and
Now, this time,
yeah.
you're not quite working for the machines yet. You're just working for the meat machines.
Yeah, and they literally know that, and they're just like, yeah, well, and they're smart enough. It's literally just the alternative is too challenging. The alternative is too difficult.
So they have like massively, they have internalized a like deep sense of helplessness, and they've like they've almost internalized their cosmic insignificance. Because
That
like
that might be overly sorry, might be a bit hyperbolic, but yeah, it's in the sense of they don't have the will or strength left to do anything else to break out of the cycle.
And that's when you remember that consciousness is a thing that appears by accident once the neural network gets large enough, because why? Genes select for whatever will allow them to reproduce.
Yeah. It's completely and utterly insane, but that's like that's what happens to a lot of people who literally just consume things, and that's all they know how to do. And that's really difficult to get out of, especially when you're in the situation where it's fine. And there's a lot much like disposable income going around in certain places and people. It's like, yeah, it's what you do. It's the whole reason whaling exists in general. It's like the whole gacha thing is like, yeah, you just throw the money away because it's the quickest way to actually have some sort of feeling. Because how do you get feelings otherwise? You have to go fucking do stuff. But you work all the time. And you've got all your other things that keep your brain functioning, such as doing all your dailies and all your gacha games, or doing all your battle passes, because they're the easy, safe way to do things.
Where's the free will?
The free will has been eradicated by the addiction to dopamine, effectively. And I do apologize that this did get very real all of a sudden, but we're not going to shy away from literally talking about the ultimate problem behind this. Because we're not here to just be like, Blizzard are charging a bit more money for stuff.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's like this is stuff that like I think this is fascinating, and I will talk about it to no end, because it is, the more people think of this, the more people know. I'm not trying to be some fucking altruist here, but the more people think about it and know, the more they can have some self-determination.
It's just like the hyper, consume all the time to have sense of meaning like that. It just gets to the stage where you're not a fucking human anymore. You're a slime. You're like a fucking meat cube.
Yeah.
You're like what? You're just something that only processes inputs and outputs with no grander, meaning or purpose. And then you die. That's it.
Yeah, because
I suppose like you look at the, dystopian media, and it's obviously ramping the art style up to a point of, it's all very unrealistic and insane, but there's a lot of the like, the actual message, the subtext is, you're kind of being a bit like this right now.
Yeah, that's the whole thing about all of the dystopian media that's come before, is that this is coming very rapidly and is already here, and we have built the torment nexus despite all the warnings, because we kind of already are there. Like, Straight up.
TLDR Blizzard's into Findom. Totally.
I
I mean, especially
So-
if it's like a good Lilith skin.
So, Finland's probably a pretty good way to put it. Just because there's a lot of really similar mechanics going on with the mechanisms of money as like a source of power and things you can do with it.
Oh, shit.
And spending
Oh,
spending money on stuff is like an expression of yourself in a way, because money is, and this is
Oh,
this,
my God. Cat girls are Findom.
so this is something that's really
no.
this is something that's really fucked up.
I have to change my life now.
And again, it's in the same direction. I had a conversation with someone, and they fully believe that the world is completely and utterly transactional. And they're probably like on the spectrum, I'm sure, from the way they were talking. But like they were, not that it particularly matters, you can have this opinion regardless, but they were like exceedingly on the belief, in the belief that the entire world is transactional and money is everything, right?
I feel like we're throwing stones in a glass house situation.
Yeah, of course. But like people are going, okay, well, here's the pay pig fetish hypno game. Exactly, Bannon. But this person fully believed that everything's transactional, and their lived experience completely shows up to that. I disagree with that perspective. I think there's so much more in like things that aren't money, and things you can literally, like, if you do things for people in more capacity, you can have substantial more amount of joy. Not everything's money, but that was like. That kind of had me thinking, yeah, I could see how that works, as money is like an expression of power, an expression of your existence, and an expression of your value. And that's kind of where Findom kind of comes in and works. Like, obviously, Findom is, especially because a lot of that case, it's not physical, because it's just someone online or whatever else. Like, that's like the ultimate expression of submission is, here is my value. I am giving my value to you for whatever, almost no return, in the act of removing it from myself. And in the opposite case, it's like, I'm taking this from you, and that's because it's like an ultimate display of like power. And obviously there's sexual connotations to that, but
the OOF website.
Yeah.
So I feel like if I say the name of that website, it'll get demonetized.
Probably, yeah. So it's like, obviously there's a version of that that's obviously, inappropriate or whatever else, but I think there's definitely like a more fundamental human existence aspect to it there. That's kind of weird. Findom topic. Yeah, Underhaven it's got weird. But that's kind of,
hey, look at you, Circle.
yeah, that's kind of what it,
That's apparently that's what this means.
yeah, would you not want to donate everything? But yeah, that's the part that I think is really like unbelievably fascinating but dangerous. I think people need to kind of think about what value is, and what they want to do, and what makes them feel
Toss the old mouse
reasonable,
over there.
etc. Oh dear, this is going to go
Oh, it's
wrong
fine.
very quick.
No, it's just to like walk people through visually. Like,
This.
so you got to remember. So here's what happened. So previously, this is 2021's BlizzCon line, where you can get the Essentials, Heroic, or Epic pack, which of course, had all of their various contents. Now, if I go to this year's offerings, you can see. I'll just go straight ahead to the big one.
Go for it.
Right.
Work away.
And for me, it's
Only skins.
only.
Yeah.
We all live in only skins.
Yep.
So it's like, right, Yuzurgle Pet, Toy Banner, card back, five standard cards, 5 golden standard packs. Wow. A player portrait of a Murloc for War.
It's not called war anymore.
It's
just war.
Oh yeah, Whir Murloc Cobalt skin. Overwatch 2, 1,000 legacy credits, a murky weapon charm, and a mystery name card. Wow, wee wah. A mount, a Cobalt Ensign mount trophy. Wahoo. A Demon Mother Countenance mount trophy. And 10% off one item on the Blizzard store. And then for the legendary pack, oh my God, you get the Bound Blizzard. There's a joke to make there relative to what we were, but
I think we both had the exact same thought.
Let's close that door.
Yeah.
Of course, we have the mystery signature legendary card, a Murloc Tower skin, and then, most importantly, the Season 7 Premium Battle Pass, the Drowned Warrior Sigma Epic skin, and of course, the Premium Battle Pass and some mount armor. And I just, for me, I thought about the sheer quantity of items that technically is involved in buying the legendary pack. Because, number one, all the items you can see here. And then add to that every single item on both battle passes. Then add on to that, like, you got both battle passes. You're going to get your coins, your platinum from your battle pass. You're probably going to be engaged in other consumption opportunities. And then the person who likes this the most, because today, for transparency, recorded tomorrow's news channel video, which is, I think it's called like something along the lines of like, this is getting out of hand. And it's a bit of a follow-up. Whenever I was in Germany, you did the title. I think it was like Blizzard have stopped pretending or something.
Yeah.
And it was just going into like the turn of the screw with the trading post and just the evolution of all of these tactics. So today I was basically had to do a follow-up of that because the augmentation to the video maybe 5, 6 weeks ago is the Fortnite-ification. Because, we're seeing like, you are straight up seeing Lilith with an AK-47. There she is. In the same way that, you can see John Wick floss.
Yeah.
And you can see John Wick and Goku just having a whale of a time together, as they do. So that then made me think, like, well, what about the player who's going to want the Inarius and the Lilith skin for Overwatch? Well, they're actually technically, because they're probably someone who's more likely to buy this, because this is the Hey, do you like Blizzard games? So I don't know how it works if they technically have 2 premium battle passes, because that can't happen. But I was just thinking, like, the sheer number of items, the sheer number of consumption opportunities. And, it's funny, because any time in the last, like, few weeks, somebody says, oh, in my head, I just go, Ozempic, we live in hell. Because I was in America for 2 weeks. So anytime we were just like back in the hotel, it was a fucking brain dead. Sitting there, we're like, what? Because it's so funny, the American prescription ads, because like legally they have to disclose all of the like negative downsides. So you just have like, this will cause your sodium to explode your thing, and your liver will, I don't know, possibly may cause death. So you have all of that, like, you're going to die. Not really, but, the word, potential bad side effects. Disclosure, which lasts more than half of the runtime of the ad, that is just being spoken over all of these happy people who are just thrilled about how Ozempic has fixed their entire life. And, definitely doesn't have them feeling nauseous all day. And definitely, wants their GLP-1s back to normal because they've ceased taking it. Maybe hasn't actually solved the actual issue at hand. Anyhow, do you know what I thought, though?
Yeah.
This goes back to the hyperstimulation that I was talking about earlier in a rather, using a rather crude analogy, for which I deeply apologize. I don't. I was just like, we were watching South Park, and it was the amount of times I heard about Ozempic and various other. It was really strange. There were so many medical ads. The amount that I heard about that stuff just from watching 2 South Park episodes in a hotel. And I just was thinking to myself, like, this is so much. This is so much of the hard sell. And I guess I was just looking at all this and it's like, oh my God, there is so much hard sell all the time, no matter what. In fact, they are doing so many hard sells that their hard sells are competing with each other. Because the Inarius and Lilith skins are only available via the $40 pack, which includes the premium battle pass, which is targeting the same audience that this is targeting. And yeah, it's just weird. Like everything's in the same way. There's people who like theme parks and they like them for the design of the rides. And now like, oh great, is this just lazy screen rides tied to IP? It's like, this is one of the reasons people fucking don't like Disney anymore. But anyway, for me, it was just like the amount of hard sell that just makes you, as somebody who's not used to that, and you enter that, and you kind of think like, oh my God, I live in hell.
Yeah,
as you sit down and you have back-to-back ads of like Wendy's, Applebee's, Ozempic, like Ozempic, Burger King, Ozempic, Burger King, as you're watching your adverts, and you're like, this has all gone a bit strange. And has gaming not turned into that? Can you imagine?
It's the same shit.
I guess.
It's all the same. It's like I was saying a long time ago. It's all the same thing. It's downstream from the money machine. And everyone looks at the big beating heart of money and goes, well, that is God. We must worship it in every way. We must, sacrifice our fellow man on the altar of money.
Oh my God.
And that's exactly what happened.
It's just like the story of the Ancient One in World of Warcraft.
Exactly.
It has a lesson for us all.
Yeah.
Thank you, Time Rifts.
Yeah, it's fundamentally that, and that's why I preach self-determination and think about psychology so much, because it is fundamentally it's important to look at what's happening with Blizzard and going, well, what does any of this matter to you?
Because hey,
is there any fucking memory or any experience or any feeling that you can recognize?
Negative, unpriced externalities are kind of like in everything. And I suppose it's the idea, it's a problem of misaligned incentives, where the incentives of some agents, be they individuals or corporate entities, are, their own personal incentives are not good for everyone else. And I think in the gaming, to bring it back to this here, what's happened is every single gaming company is like, okay, what happens when we offer more consumption opportunities? Oh, people are consuming more. So every company just like independently does this because it works for their audience. But there is a broader cost to that. Sometimes that's a material cost. Sometimes it is a social cost. Look at the state of games discourse right now. Like, if you want to turn people into hard right or hard left, the modern world is a real good way of pushing people into, an unreasonable, the unreasonable part of the spectrum of, left or right or up or down or wherever fucking axis you want to use. And, who pays the price? We do as, we do as people, not the people who are actually incurring that cost. That's where it's weird you look at this. Could you imagine?
It's always been the way, like...
Yeah.
Especially now, and with like globalization as a concept of the narrowing of that and the widening of that.
It's just those hilarious things. Like, when people are like, this is how much traffic has cost the American economy. They're like, this is great. Still, nobody understands induced demand. Woo! So this is how much traffic costs the American economy. Do you know what would be really cool to learn? How much does TikTok cost the American economy?
I would say...
Let's not answer that.
I would say most of it.
I don't want the big war with Lemons to happen.
Most of it, for sure.
Yeah, because fucking 98-year-old boomer running the country is like, the TikTok costs us what?
Because even I genuinely feel like I have...
What's the invasion?
Yeah, like I genuinely feel like I have like externally induced ADHD. Just because internet good.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's fucking hard to focus on shit. Harder than it ever was before. Shit's fucking
That's the
good.
thing. Induced ADHD, whatever we're going to call it, it's like we live in a machine to hyper-radicalize people, left or right, whatever, or, I know that there kind of is a form of radical center as well. Like, whatever, the most extreme version of their current position. We have the way to create that. The old... thing humans evolutionary want to do to pass on to the next generation. We live in a society that will maximally take that to its, further realms. We'll leave that one there. And food, it's happened for. It's kind of like happened for every little thing. We do kind of...
Take everything to its extreme.
Yeah, and
literally everything to its extreme. Everything gets to its extreme.
You know the way gamers, all the gamers have been talking about paying for a JPEG, in NFTs and laughing at NFTs because they're paying for a JPEG. It's like, guys, I hate to tell you.
You're paying for WMO.
You're paying for WMO. You're paying for an FBX. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that's. You're paying for a battle pass, which is just a bundle that you may not get everything out of. Do you know what the battle pass is like? It's like paying to access the mine shaft that you have to go and work in.
It is, yeah.
So it's like the theme park is now a mine shaft. Congratulations. I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay at work all night. Oh boy.
Yeah.
It's fun.
There is certainly a very heavy conversation topic.
So-
born out of consumption opportunity.
Yeah, which is to say, Mike Ibarra, thank you for being at the head of the grand institution that's created this document, which is just making me realize that we don't even live in reality anymore. Nothing's real. Nothing's real.
Yeah. See, Matt, this I actually I don't think it's doomer posting. At least the way I talk about it, because I always talk about this stuff in the era of there is clearly a way out.
Oh yeah, for me this
It's
is like
not-
break the conditioning.
Yeah, it's not for everyone, but it's very clear that there is a path out, and it is unsatisfying. And if people want to break the yoke, they could if they were given the opportunity.
It's like the moment at the end of Tenet where the main character looks at the screen and says, "I am the protagonist." You can do it too.